my favorite song right now.
Hi, Alyssa.
Elizabeth, why doesn't it have eyes up there?
Hey, Nicole.
Hey,
I know,
you guys.
That is weird. I'm not getting frisky towards you. I'm just cross my leg.
I would, but I'm already pregnant. Hey, you guys. Look at y'all. It's so annoying. I don't know how many people are up here. There's no eyes, so you just got to keep talking to
there's
us.
like not a number.
Y'all just have to keep talking to us.
Hi, Tammy. So we're going to be talking about, Katie and I have been brainstorming for the last hour on, what would you call these? Like steps to leadership based off of your title. So that way, when you reach a certain title, you can kind of go off of these steps on how to lead your teams and your groups. So we're going to share them with you guys, but we're also going to make graphics of these, and once I make these graphics, we will post them on this leadership page. So that way you can save them. They will have links for more information. That way when you have someone promote, you can either tag them in the post, it'll be pinned as an announcement, or you can save it and send it directly to them via email, via text, however you want to do that.
And it's short and sweet. So we wanted these to be very, very short, because I feel like when people become a leader, when you sponsor your first person or you hit lead, I feel like we overcomplicate leadership, right? Because there's so much information on what you should be doing with your team, ideas on how to have engagement with your team, that people get overwhelmed with the amount of information. So we wanted to keep these short and sweet for new leaders and evolving leaders and growing leaders, because literally whatever you do at lead consultant, you duplicate it with each title. There's no difference between a lead consultant and a superstar director. The only difference is the amount of people. Yep. But the tasks are the duplicatable.
Yep. So this should be fairly short. So we'll start with leads. We both feel that once you reach lead consultant is when you should really start focusing on your team and being a leader, right? You're a lead consultant, lead being you're now a leader of at least one person, if not more. So the first thing that we have down is the onboarding process. Now this onboarding process is going to be a staple no matter what title you're at, lead and above. So the onboarding process is essentially, how are you working with your new teammate? What resources are you giving them? We are going to have a link to the form that Chloe and Justin made. Do you know what that form's called?
I want to say it's called New Consultant. I put it up here. I think it's in the. It's already in the announcements.
It's definitely on this page somewhere, and I know both of us use it, and it's been huge. All you will have to do is you can save it and go in and change it to your information. So we will have that link to where once you send it to your teammates, they can actually download it and then change it to their personal information. And then you want to do number 2?
Mm-hmm. As a lead consultant, posting once a week in your director's team page, whatever team page you're on, posting once a week how you are working. Mm-hmm. Once a week, you should be working your personal business at least once a week. More than that, but at least once a week. How you're working is simply that. Hashtag, how are you working? Y'all hear me say that all the time. The best form of leadership that you can give your team is showing them how you're working. So taking a picture of how you worked your business that week and sharing it at least once a week, starting as a lead consultant.
Yep. And then we thought this was super important, and we know that we wanted to incorporate this starting at lead consultant because we feel like this is huge as being a leader, and we feel like a lot of lead consultants don't do this, so that's why we wanted to implement this next step, was to post monthly recognition for whoever is in your team, whoever's in your group, okay? So your recognition could look different. We're not saying you have to do something specific, but mainly the one thing that we were looking at doing is having you guys start your own shout out graphic or banner that you see Katie posting on this leadership page, you see me posting it on my team page. Katie also posts one for her team page, but starting out early with only one teamie or two teamies is going to get you into that mindset and into that habit of doing it every single month. And recognizing your team is also going to help you learn how to pull reports and how to use that reporting system that Cincy has for us. So there will also be links there on how to pull reports for more details and whatnot.
When we talk about pulling reports, it's pulling your people that have high PRV and that are sponsoring, the people that are putting in the work. Often I hear from directors or even higher leadership, they're overwhelmed with the amount of people. You feel like you have to focus on everybody, and we really want you guys to stop focusing on everybody and focusing on one or two. Me and Ray, we just talked about this, not literally, about, paychecks. We're going to talk about money, okay? Let's be real. We don't do this for free. You guys don't do this for free, okay? You want to make a paycheck. Customer service needs to always be number one, but your PRV is only going to pay you this month. If you're looking at big paychecks, higher paychecks, that comes from team building, and that comes from building leaders. That starts at lead consultant. And what we're seeing now is people skip so many of the fundamentals.
Lord, I'll take it over.
Thank you. That was a rough. Of leadership, and then when they hit superstar consultant or director, they freak out because they weren't doing basic leadership things. This is going to help you recognize early on will versus skill.
Yeah.
Who's already putting in the work? That's where your focus needs to go. Your focus doesn't need to go on your people that are about to go inactive or not putting in PRV. Your focus needs to be the ones that are putting in the work.
And also, me and Katie do plan on doing a paycheck training, breaking down your paychecks so you can see where your money's actually coming from. But we will probably do this on the director page and possibly post it to YouTube. Possibly, that's not guaranteed. But that's if maybe we have some leaders that want to dig deep into that too that aren't at director yet. So stay tuned for that.
Income makes people so uncomfortable, but we have to talk about it, y'all, because
income makes the world go round. Let's be real.
It does.
If you don't have money, you don't have money to buy food. You don't have money to take your kids on a vacation. You don't have money to, you know what I mean? Money, like, you have to have money to survive. Let's be real.
And there's real money to be made in this business, and I feel like we stay stuck on basic content, that if you guys start moving towards focusing on people and building people within your team, your group, the people you already have, the customers you already have, the team members that you already have, you're going to find that your paycheck is going to match that effort. Okay, but there is income to be made in this, and we want to teach you guys how to make an income, a life-changing income with this business.
Yep. And then the last thing for lead consultant is you need to be attending leadership calls. Okay, you need to be attending leadership calls and team calls that your director is having. So that we're trying to simplify this. 2021 is all about simplifying, making it easy, not overwhelming people. So we only have 4 steps for lead consultant. So then we're going to go to star consultant. Basically, a lot of these tasks look the same. So we have the onboarding process. The only difference is we want you guys to post 3 times a week how I'm working, okay? And you're going to need to make your own team page once you hit star consultant. This is going to push you out of your comfort zone. This is going to help you be a better leader. It's also going to show your teamies and your downline, if you have downline at this point, that hey, I am your leader, I'm your mentor, and you can come to me and we're in this learning process together. That way they're not always looking up to your director, they're still looking up to you.
It's important to do this very early on in your leadership, to number 1, help you build your leadership style, your unique leadership style, but number 2, to build relationships. How many of you guys have teammates, or maybe this has happened to you, you've built your team in number wise, and then over time they fall off, they quit? I'm not going to say it's a direct reflection of what I'm about to say, It has happened. If they don't have a relationship with you, or they don't feel like they're part of a community, and they don't feel like they're gaining anything from being a part of this business, they're going to leave. So part of being a star consultant and starting that group, that community early on, is to build that relationship with your people, right? You want to build that relationship with your people. And I'll be honest, I started my own team page when I was a lead consultant, when I sponsored my first person, because that was my person. And I wanted to do this together, okay? You want to build a sense of togetherness. It's also going to take stress off of you, right? You're not, when we say leader, that doesn't mean you're the sole source, right? Me and Ray aren't your sole source. I don't know what it is, the claw. Me and Ray aren't your sole source, right? We have amazing directors. We have amazing superstar consultants, star consultants that share, and that's how it should be, a collaboration, not a dictatorship, a collaboration. So as you build your team page and your community, you're building that collaborative where you guys are sharing together and learning together.
Yep. But don't forget, when you build a team page, you still have to show up, okay? You can't just make a team page, put all your teamies on it, and then deuce out. Like, if you plan on doing that, I'm telling you, it's not going to be good in the long run. You're going to have people drop off because, like Katie said, they're not feeling that sense of community. They're not feeling that sense of, like, family-oriented leadership style.
Well, you probably see this in your numbers, too. I have somebody, well, she's been paid at director in probably almost 2 years. She has a group of over 60 people, so she has the numbers. She's fallen off and deuced out. Her team has followed suit, so yes, she has the numbers, but she doesn't have that community. Because she doesn't have the community, she's not getting paid at title. Vice versa, I've seen some of you guys with a team of 10 hit director, or a team of 15, because you've built that community.
Yep.
It makes a difference.
It really does. It really does. I like that you did that comparison, because if you feel like you're in not just a community, but you feel like that you're part of a family, even if you're not blood related, you're more likely to thrive and go out and do things and get uncomfortable than you are if you're in a community that doesn't have that family feel to it. And you're eventually going to be like, you know what, well, F this, I'm going to go do something else. Because you don't feel appreciated and you don't feel like what you're doing matters. So you move on.
It's like messaging a stranger. I mean, if I message, I'm just going to use Alyssa because she's one of mine. If I didn't have a relationship with Alyssa, but I messaged her, I want to mentor you, I want to help you, I want to help you grow, she's probably going to ignore me because she doesn't know who the fart I am. But if we had a relationship, she'd be open to being mentored. She would be open to learning and working closely with me. So it's all about relationships. Same with your customers, y'all. If you don't show up for your customers aren't going to order from you anymore. You don't show up for your team is not going to show up. And I'm telling you, I've seen it over and over again. It is harder to rebuild a team. Okay? I've seen people hit big promotions, they get tired or overwhelmed or whatever the reason is, they deuce out for months, then they get it together and they want to come back and they got to start all over. Okay? Take care of the people you already got.
Yep. So then the same thing, when you hit Star Consultant, we still want you guys to do monthly recognition, whether that's a graphic, basically just pulling reports and recognizing your people. We like the graphic idea because Katie mentioned it in a previous training, and it's gold. I don't know why we hadn't thought of this way sooner. Why we never thought to work with the people on that graphic, because they are the ones showing up, right? They're the ones putting in the effort. Effort equals rewards, right? So that's why we said graphic. But if you don't want to necessarily do a graphic, obviously that's totally up to you, as long as you're doing recognition in some way that's going to benefit your team, okay? And then this one is new. So we still want you to attend leadership calls, but this one, the next one is one-on-one coaching. Once you reach Star Consultant, you normally have, for Star Consultant, you normally have like 2 to 3 teamies, maybe 4 roughly. But this is where one-on-one coaching really should come into play. You don't have to get on the phone with them. It could be text coaching, it could be Zoom coaching, it could be getting on the phone, FaceTime coaching, whatever that looks like, just one-on-one coaching. That's not only going to help them build their business, but it's also going to build the relationship that you guys have together. So that's also building that community, family-oriented.
And if their business is built, so if you're building them and they're building their business, it is going to build your business. Okay? If your team is successful, you are successful. It is very much a trickle down effect. Okay? So you want to work with your team however that looks like for you. I know me and Ray have both gone through periods where we work with our team differently.
Yeah.
I did text coaching for a long time because I didn't want to get on the phone, because I was focusing on the wrong people, right? The same people that I don't know how to book parties, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. I just did a training on it. So focusing on the right people too is also going to light a fire within you.
Yep.
Excited people create excited people. SSC.
Yeah.
So superstar consultant, what that looks like is literally everything above. So you're going to see us repeat a lot of things because every title is just repetition, okay? PRV, sponsoring, working with your team. Posting every single day in your team page how you're working.
Yep. So we went from 3 times a week to every day.
Team trainings.
That's your own personal team trainings,
And
whatever that looks like.
And it could be, I don't do Zooms anymore, so it could be a live. I do a live at least once a month on my team page, and I pin it to the top. That's your training. Monthly graphic that we just talked about, pooling your reports, whatever that looks like for you, for your people. How are you identifying who is putting PR fee, who is putting in, who is sponsoring, who is promoting? Those are the people you want to work with, okay? Stop working with dead weight. Let it die.
Yep.
Okay, that was gruesome. Let it go.
So we knew what you meant.
Yeah. Stop focusing on dead weight. One-on-one coaching and attending leadership. Okay, you're gonna see duplicate. There's no difference. It's duplicating. It's adding. It's just more people.
Yep.
You're just adding. But remember, there's one of you. Okay. You ain't got to do this for every single person. You got to do it for the right people. That's where you're going to make a difference in your business, when you do this for the right people.
And that's why we want you guys to focus on pulling reports, making that graphic, and doing the recognition, because the people you're recognizing are the people you need to focus on. You don't need to focus on Joe Blow, who has 0 PRV. You don't need to focus on Joe Blow, who wants 500 PRV, but keeps saying she can't get it for whatever reason.
And Joe Blow's been wanting it for a year.
Clearly, she's not working. Okay, we can't hold people's hands, especially as you promote higher and higher. You're gonna have more people. All of a sudden, you're gonna wake up and you have 500 people in your team and group. You can't hold 500 people's hands.
And that's why we decided to do this today. When we were talking, we're getting ready to start an incentive period on Monday. We don't know what that entails. We don't know, are we going to have a join special? It's been a while, so we may have a join special. What are you going to do if you have a team of 30 this month and then next month you have a team of 100? And yes, I want you to think like that, because it's happened. It's happened to me, and I remember feeling like somebody punched me in the gut. Because I'm like, what in the hell am I supposed to do
for $15 join special?
I'm like, what in the hell am I supposed to do with all these people? Like, I don't know what I'm doing, because you need to be focused on the right people.
Yep.
Okay? And when you're focused on the right people early on, I hear y'all's frustration, some of the directors, some of our leaders on this page that say, I'm so frustrated because I have a group of 70 people, but only 7 people are showing up. Guess what? Stop being frustrated over 63 people and start focusing on those 7 people, okay? Where your focus goes, energy flows. And I'm telling you, you focus on the people that are not doing anything, the people full of excuses, you're going to become so bitter and so frustrated and so angry and so burnt out, because you're focusing on people. If they don't want to work, y'all, ain't nothing Courtney Page going to say to them to get them to work. Okay? Ain't nothing Katie Lassiter going to say. Peace. I mean, it's a new catalog, and if they ain't got 200 in and they're telling me, I want $2,000, but you can't even get 200 in, you want it, boo, but you're not working. There's a difference. You can want it, you're not working. You can preach it to Courtney. It ain't directed at you, boo, but you know what I mean. We've all done it. we've all been in a period where we're like, we're giving and giving and giving and giving, and these people, they're not doing it.
And honestly, we're in that period right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a period of pruning.
Mm-hmm.
This period sucks, okay? It can suck, let me tell you. It can suck, but it's a necessary season to go through, okay? Why would you want a team of 63 when only 7 are working, 8 are working, 10 are working? Why would it matter if, I mean, this isn't going to happen. 60 people aren't going to drop off, most likely aren't going to drop off, but why would it matter if you had a team of 63 people but only 7 were working and then 60 dropped off? You're still going to have the same numbers. The same people are going to still work. So pruning season is necessary. If you guys want to see your growing season, you have to go through the pruning season. Think of a garden. You have to have a blooming, beautiful, colorful, full garden. You have to prune your plants. You have to prune your flowers. You have to go through that season. That's a harder season than it is a blooming season. But if you want to see the blooms, you have to prune. Okay?
You can't get a promotion or a higher paycheck without this season. And I want you guys to hear that, because so many people deuce out during pruning season. And then you guys don't get to reap the benefits of harvest season.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the pruning season. This is a beautiful season to revise what's not working. Focusing on the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Focusing on your personal business. You know what? If you haven't sponsored in a while and you're pissed off because your team's not sponsoring, okay, you got to work on you first.
Yep. Here's a good analogy too. Okay, so you have 63. Tell me what you would rather have, and I want you guys to participate in the chat, all 5 of y'all. Tell me what you would rather have, okay? A garden come spring, okay? Spring's right around the corner. Spring's right around the corner, summer's right around the corner, okay? That's when the gardens are like full throttle, okay? So would you rather have a garden full of 60 plants, okay, where only 10 of them are blooming, full of fire, full of colors, completely like at their best that you've ever seen, and the other 50 dead, crunchy, crumbled, fallen off flowers? Which one would you rather have? A garden that's full with only 6 or 7, 10 flowers that are completely blooming? Would you rather have a larger garden where it has 50 dying plants with only 6 that are blooming? Which one's going to look better to you? Because I'd rather have the garden with only 6 to 10 plants in it that are really blooming, really giving it their all, really they've soaked up all of that water, which is all the content that's all around them. They've soaked it all up, and because they've soaked it all up and they've put in all that effort, now they're blooming. Now they're reaping the rewards of going through that hard season, going through that hard winter, going through that rainy season where, I mean, if you live in Carolina, we just went through basically a freaking
Disaster.
I don't even know what happened, but it rained for like 2 straight weeks. Okay, so tell me, which one would you rather have? The full garden.
And you know what? The dead plants may come alive, but that's on them to become alive.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't on you.
Yep.
That's up to them to soak up the water and the sunshine.
Yep.
But your circle of control is continuing to show up regardless of how others act or don't act, respond or don't respond, and continue to be excited about your own business. Because I'm telling you, people are drawn to excitement. If you're not excited, your team's not going to be excited. If you're not showing up, your team's not going to show up.
Yep.
You got to make a decision at some point to be deep rooted in it. Focusing your focus on the right things. Realizing what your circle of control is.
You have to decide whether you're going to be all in or not.
Mm-hmm.
All in, part of that is going through the hard seasons, which
And
is this season right now.
It ain't always easy.
If you're going to deuce out, you're not all in. And you're not going to reap the rewards of being all in either if you're not all in, both feet in. So
You got to take the hard with the good, but it's worth it.
Yep. And then we did do one for director, and it's the same thing, onboarding process, posting every day, your own personal team trainings, monthly recognition, one-on-ones, attend leadership calls, and the only thing that's different is once you hit director, we really want you to, we called it the downline drill, but we really want you to drill deeper into your downline. Find the people in your downline that you might not necessarily have like a one-on-one relationship with and build that relationship with them, okay?
It's so important that you guys listen to what she just said. Your frontline may not want it, but they may have sponsored somebody that did want it. And that second person can become your first person. It's happening to you.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica Johnson.
Jessica Johnson. She wasn't my frontline. She's now my frontline director because her sponsor didn't want it. Her sponsor always made excuses. So now, because I reached down and I was helping her, she's a director. She's killing it. Her team's killing it. Mm-hmm. And me and her have a relationship that we probably would have never had if I didn't actually dig down into my downline. There's a couple other people who I have a really good relationship with. Liz, she's on here. She's now my frontline. I don't know if you're still watching, Liz, but she was 2 down from me.
And it can happen just like that. So that second or third or fourth person can become your first. That person can, it only takes one person to change your business.
Yep.
There's some of you guys, I mean, I have a director. Is that me, Mom?
No.
It kind of looks like him. There's a couple of you guys I wouldn't have had a relationship with had I not dug down deep. And what happens is if the person I sponsored, she falls off, something happens in her life, and I don't pick up or look at the people below her, they're going to fall off too. That branch of your tree is going to fall off. Digging down, because you can keep building, right? If I don't have frontline that are hungry, that don't want it, that tells me 2 things. I need to sponsor, and I need to dig deeper. So sponsor to get those first, and then dig deeper. So if I have nobody in my frontline I want to work with, or they're not working, I could either have a pity party and complain that they're not working, or work with people that want to be worked with, okay? Or find new people. But you have to keep digging. You have to keep digging, because I'm telling you, if you want to have, I'm not going to say it's a direct reflection, but if you want to have reached out to Jessica, who's to say Jessica would have kept going? Her sponsor quit. She would have said, my sponsor quit. I'm going to quit too. To build those relationships.
Yep. So, I'm gonna make these into graphics. There will be like in each graphic in the description part, in the actual post part. When I post it, there will be links so that you guys can actually go to those links and get more information on like what we're talking about with the steps. But we hope that this helps you guys build, I guess, what am I trying to say? Build your leadership skills. And so you guys know what to do. We are trying to figure out a way that we could like make it easy and simple to say, okay, now that you've reached Star Consultant, these are the things we want you to do step by step. It could even be a check-off system. You can literally check it off with each month that you do it, or however you want to do it. So I hope it will be up by next week, okay? I'm not going to like overpromise and say that I'll completely get it done today, but I will have all of these done by next week. Hopefully tomorrow, but next week at the latest, so.
I hope this helps y'all, okay?
Yeah.
We need to stop overcomplicating this business, because this business is not a complicated one. Is it difficult at times? Absolutely it's difficult. But the steps are simple. The tasks of working with your team, of sponsoring, of customer service, we overcomplicate it often, and it's not complicated, okay? People, at the end of the day, people. You took nothing else from this, people first. Put your people first, put your team, okay? Show up.
People first.
Show up. Show up for your customers, show up for your team. If you have nothing to give, and I said that, I can't even remember if it was this training or on my team page, you can teach anything about this business. You can teach people how to book parties. You can teach people how to sponsor. You can teach people how to train their new people. But you can't train people to show up, and you can't train people to work hard, and you can't train people to dream big. You can't train that. Either people have it or they don't have it. And this is going to be a season for you guys to decide who has that and who doesn't have it. And it is not saying that you don't love them or you don't care about them, but you can't keep pouring into people, making them want this business. You cannot make them want this business, but what you can do is show them the way.
Yep.
And you can show them that it can be done.
Yep.
That's your job as a leader, showing them that it can be done.
It all starts with you.
You.
Yep. So, that's all we got for you.
That's it. We love you guys.
Yes, we love you.
We are praying over this season of your business. It's going to be a wonderful season of pruning, of learning, of growing together. And you're going to have growing pains, right? You're going to have growing pains, but we're in it together, okay? We're doing this together. We can learn from each other, okay? And that harvest season is going to be beautiful. You stick with it through pruning
Y'all just
season.
wait. If you guys have never, if you're still pretty new and you've never been through like a harvesting, growing season, you just wait, because all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh my God.
We were like that last year.
Yes. Where did all of these leaders come from? Where did all these promotions come from? It's coming.
Yeah. Last year we had the pandemic, like everything started around March, right?
Mm-hmm.
The pandemic happened.
It's almost been a year. Jeez.
Nervous about, what would this business look like? Would your customers still buy? People were falling off, right? People stopped working because of COVID. This time last year, people suffered personal battles. I went through a season of severe depression and anxiety, of drowning and feeling like I can't do it. But you hold fast.
Mm-hmm.
Hold fast. Because I'm telling you, July or August, we had back-to-back director promotions. It was freaking insane.
And the same thing's going to happen this year. I can already see it. So, y'all get ready.
Get ready. Seatbelts on. Okay?
I'm excited.
We love y'all. Y'all have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.